things up with just your overall statement of the ball game?
I thought we played well in stretches. I told our team this and my staff. I mean, this is a really hard game. The road trip that we've been on, we've traveled 5,000 miles in 2 weeks, and then come back and really have no day of prep. We got back about 6 o'clock last night. But for us to win a basketball game by 50, and I thought we played really well in stretches. And thought we were in a little bit of mud early and the start of the second half, but we really found a rhythm. I thought our bench was really, really good tonight, especially Truman. I thought those guys really, really provided a spark, and we were able to come out and with a great win.
You talked about last week about finishing at the rim. Tonight I had you down for 19 of 23 from your big three around the rim. Obviously you got to be happy with finishing. Even if they were smaller, but you were able to finish those.
For sure, and sometimes, they were so small that they really tried to space us out and drive us, and it was hard for guys like Truman and Sham to be on the floor guarding a 6'4" guy out on the perimeter a lot. But I thought they did a really good job of finishing. I thought Truman in particular, especially, the way he attacked the rim, and Sham, played really well. I think he played really well for about 7 minutes. I know I get on him all the time, but he was. Both of these guys had really nice nights.
The start of the second half, I think they outscored you guys 11-6, cut the lead down to 16, and you went kind of full hockey shift substitution. Was that just kind of to send like a wake-up message to the starters?
A little bit, yeah. And then I have a lot of confidence in our bench. I think that we got good players sitting there, and I thought really the game changed when we made all 5 of those subs, and Truman and Bake and Leandre and those guys came in, and I thought played really, really well and kind of got the tempo back and locked in defensively and did what we were supposed to do. So that was a really good sign. And then we obviously brought Sham and the guys back in after that. And when you can play 9, 10 guys, it allows you to kind of wear down your opponent at times, and I thought we were able to do that.
Truman, it seemed especially tonight, when you rolled to the basket on the pick and rolls, you were looking to finish. Did you understand you had an advantage inside, or have you been more aggressive?
Yeah, my teammates did a really good job of finding me just in the right spot. I think just Leandre, AJ, they just did a really good job of finding me, and they put me in a good position to do it. So I think that is really the main thing. I'm as big as I am. It should be easier to finish, but those guys did a really good job of finding me.
Coach, this is more of a general question, not specific to tonight's game, but you guys have had really competitive games this season, but you've committed a lot of fouls. Like statistically, you're kind of you're like almost last in the country in fouls committed. What do you think it is, and I guess just how can you guys just improve on it?
Talk about it. I think sometimes we're aggressive, but we're not in the right place. Our positioning needs to get better. And then, we really try to play up tempo when we try to get after people defensively. So there's a learning curve there too, David, where, we're not going to be soft on the ball. We're not going to be soft defensively. So there's a learning curve to be able to have the aggression that we want to play with, but also with some intelligence and better positioning. And to be honest with you, I'm actually excited to take a deep breath and get back to practice. I mean, we haven't really had 2 days of practice in 2 weeks because all we've done is travel and play games and prepare. So there's a lot of things we need to shore up and a lot of things we need to do better and some tweaks we need to do on both sides of the ball that as a staff we've talked about for the last week. But when you're traveling and and you have 1 day of prep and play, it's hard to do that. So I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks of having some practice time.
Sha'markus, how much different is it this year to be able to get inside, get the ball, but be able to have confidence in kicking it out, knowing you're going to either get it back or you can get rebounds? What's kind of the different mindset for you?
I think coaches did a great job putting a lot of shooters out there on the court with me, so I could kick it out to my shooters, and they got enough confidence to get right back to me if I have the seal.
And Sham, I kind of want to ask you about the fouls as well, because you picked up 2, I think, in the first 6 minutes of the game. I don't know if you picked one up the rest of the game, but like, what's that mindset? For you having to play with fouls, but also learning like, all right, I kind of, don't want to pick up kind of a ticky-tack foul here or there?
Sometimes it's just hard, really, because sometimes I'm just trying to play as hard as I can, and picking up quick fouls, and then like after I get my two, I really have to like calm down on defense, but at the same time, play as hard as I can.
You're not getting blown out in the big games. You're staying close. What would it mean to beat somebody like a Richmond or a Texas for this program?
It'd be great for us. I mean, we had chances. We at Wisconsin. I mean, we led all, and we were in single digits the whole game, really, till the last, 8 minutes or so. New Mexico had a chance to win. This schedule has been really hard, but we've gotten better. I think it would mean a lot. I mean, obviously, our goal is to play well, continue to get better, and win every game we play. I really like this team a lot. I like the depth of the team, I like the toughness of the team. To be able to, this year bring a guy off the bench like Truman, who is a sophomore. And Truman's going to be a monster here before it's over. To be able to have the depth, with this team, really, we're getting there. As a program, we're really getting there. I mean, our roster's getting there, and I think Sha'markus is really turning the corner as a senior, and for him to be able to do the things that he's been able to do has been special.
Were you trying to get Brown the triple-double? Were you knowledgeable of that, or put it back
Boydell
in?
has struggled a little bit to start out of the gate, and the biggest thing I just want to do is get him some more confidence, and let him just keep playing through and try to find his rhythm and his swagger, if you will. But I thought Boydell played great. He had, can I get my glasses here? But he had, where's it at here? Yeah, he had 14, rebounds and 9 assists. I mean, I thought he played really well. In that spot, he has the ball a lot, in the high-low stuff with Sham. He pushes the ball quite a bit. But I was really happy. His motor was better tonight. I don't think he played with fear as much as he has, in my own opinion.
Do you think he's finding himself based on, at the end of last year, so much of it was put on him, and now it's kind of in a completely different role?
Yeah, I think so, and he and I have talked about that. I mean, his numbers in game, his numbers will probably look different on the stat sheet this year because of, the other players that we have on the floor. And I think that's a really good thing. But I think that, even at the pit, he had 5 assists. I mean, I think he's had 14 assists in the last 2 games. I think Roydell is really starting to come into his own and figure it out. And, when you have an injury like that, there's no real timetable. It's always, each person kind of handles that a little bit differently. But I thought tonight, him going down the lane and finishing the way he did, I think that was a Roydell type of play.
Truman, before the season, when I was talking to Coach, he said, he was still searching for that first big to come off the bench, behind Sham. Obviously, started the season, you've come in, you've been that guy. I guess just what does it mean that Coach has, you've performed, but what does it mean that Coach has that faith in you?
It's really big. I think Coach just, whenever we sit down and talk about different things, he's always telling me that he has confidence in me in different things. I just any role that the coaching staff has for me, I'm willing to embrace just whatever helps the team. And I think that just coming in and being able to fill in for Sham, get him a blow when I can, just really help him and the team out as much as I can. I think it's been really good for me just to have the confidence that Coach has in me.
And I think too, the nice thing with both of these guys is that there's times where, and we've done it this year, that there's times where we'll play really big, and try to pound it in there at times. And both of these guys can really pass. And the thing I like about Truman, and but it's one of the bigger reasons why I recruit him. He's an everyday guy. He brings it every day, gets better every day, and just all of us, me included, have to sometimes stop and take a deep breath and realize he's a sophomore, and just think about where he's going to be a year and then 2 years from now. He's come a long way, and battling against Sham every day has made him a lot better too.
Coach, speaking on what you said a little while ago with positioning, I noticed in the first half, I mean, honestly, you guys are just slightly out of position, whether it's in the 1-2-2, the guys splitting the trap, or your man trap, and you're just somebody's not all the way over, help side and the ball's getting skipped and a wide open three. I mean, but it has to feel good with knowing you just have a few little tweaks and you can hang.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, you go back and you watch the New Mexico game like I did, 3 times, and we're right there. I like our group a lot, and and I don't think we even actually played particularly well tonight, to be honest. I thought we had a lot of slippage in a lot of areas, but to still come out and score 100 and win by 50, I think shows a lot about our team and the potential that we have. I mean, we're not where we need to be yet, Taylor, but you're right about the slippage. You're right about one step away and a little bit late, and that's got to come back to getting back to practice. Truth be told, all we've done is play games and prep and travel, but to be able to kind of take a deep breath for the next 2 weeks and and have some real practice time and real film study, I think this team will make another big step and have a lot of growth.
Do you think it also has something to do with, how fast the game's being played? I mean, these guys might not be used to, switching defenses this
For
fast,
sure.
and do you think that plays
For
into
sure.
it as well?
For sure. I mean, we got 71, shot attempts tonight. We have more possessions in the game. And I think over the course of time, playing 8, 9 guys, having the depth that we have, it just, that's how we want to play. That's how I've always envisioned playing here and being able to shoot the 3 and have good bigs and that can catch rolls and things like that. And but we're getting close. I'm really, really proud of this group.
Now, this will be your longest break since the regular season started, and then after Richmond, will be your next longest break until you play Texas. You mentioned kind of the rest, practice, everything. I guess, how do you balance all of what you want to do and also get the players some rest?
It's a great question. It's something that I think about every day, talk to our staff about every day, because there's a fine line. I think that, we've lifted on the road, which has been really good for us. Having Jimmy, I know I keep saying it, but having him and a part of our program has been huge for us. Like, we're going to be in the weight room tomorrow morning. We're going to come back and shoot and do a lot of film stuff tomorrow. But it's big, Dave. I mean, it's a big for us to be able to continue to learn and get better and being able to come out in the practice floor and, tweak some things and work on our rotations and just so that they become habit. It's just what we do. And, where when guys are on the floor, they're not thinking, they're just reacting. That's what we're trying to get to.
How many 2 and 4 teams in the country have an 88 point plus points against differential?
Yeah, I mean, we got a good group. Our schedule's been really, really challenging, not only from who we're playing, but from traveling. I mean, going to Wisconsin, getting on, 2 planes, and then getting on 2 planes and going to Albuquerque. I mean, it's hard. But this group has shown a lot of grit. I tell them all the time, I'm really proud of them. This group loves this university. They love this community. Just look at our crowd. I mean, again, it's a Monday night, and I don't have my glasses, but to have the community support that we have is just phenomenal. I love this community, and our guys are really starting to buy into this community and the students, and the program is really starting to move, and I'm happy about it.
All right, guys.